the CBS Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is CBS2 News at 6 p.m.
The Northern California fire in Redding becomes a family tragedy when two young children and their great-grandmother are found dead after being trapped inside their home. Good evening, I'm Suzanne Marquez.
And I'm Peter Dowd. The death toll from the car fire is now 5, but nearly a dozen other people are still missing.
The fire has now burned more than 80,000 acres, about 150 miles north of Sacramento, and more evacuation orders were issued today. CBS 2's Katie Nielsen is there with the latest.
Intense flames devoured this home in Northern California Saturday. It's one of at least 500 structures reduced to ash, and more could meet the same fate.
It's burning in every direction all at the same time. And we've got, even though we have multiple resources, the way that it's burning, the intensity that it's burning, uphill, downhill.
Fire officials say the car fire has doubled in size. It also claimed 3 more victims. The Bledsoe family says Melody and her 2 great-grandchildren died of smoke inhalation. They say the victims had no warning about the fast-moving fire.
We used a number of warning systems and going door to door. In that specific case, we're still looking into that matter there.
Hundreds of evacuees attended a meeting to get updates on their property. Many fear there will be nothing to go back to because the wind is now in control.
Unfortunately, we watched her house go up in flames.
Firefighters are also battling triple-digit heat, which makes it much harder to get these fires under control.
It takes a lot of effort to pull your body through 110-degree weather and do the job that we're supposed to be doing.
While they fight the fire here, other parts of the state are burning. So far, the wildfires have chewed through more than 160,000 acres. Katie Nielsen, CBS News, Redding, California.
A fast-moving fire near Fallbrook has people evacuating their homes. The fire started this afternoon in the rural community of Deleuze. Firefighters told people in about 100 homes to leave. So far, the fire has burned about 50 acres, but is 0% contained.
Another fire raging out of control is in Northern California. The Mendocino Complex fire is burning in Mendocino County, northwest of Sacramento. The fire started as 2 separate fires, burning just 30 miles apart. CAL FIRE consolidated the fires into just one, which is now only 2% contained, and it's burned over 9,000 acres so far. 7 firefighters have suffered injuries. 1 home has been destroyed and hundreds more are threatened.
The Cranston fire in Idlewild grew by 600 acres overnight. It's now burned more than 13,000 acres and is 17% contained. The Forest Service says it's confident the fire won't spread, so firefighters spent today strengthening their break line between the flames above Idlewild and the town itself. They were able to release some crews to battle other fires that are happening across the state. Of course, the weather always plays a part in wildfires. CBS 2 meteorologist Markina Brown joins us live in studio with a look at the conditions on the fire lines. Markina.
Yes, it does, Suzanne. The weather is very important in a situation like that, and we are seeing very hot conditions, not gusty winds, but hot conditions and very low humidity in Redding. It is 106 there, and relative humidity is at 6%. When you go to the other fire in Idlewild, very different because the temperature is obviously much cooler. Winds are not bad at all out of the west at about 6, but relative humidity is up there at 53%. So we will continue to watch out for those conditions as we go throughout the next 24 hours. The other thing that's out there for us, of course, is the heat. We've got a heat advisory in effect for parts of LA County. This includes the San Fernando Valley, and this goes through Sunday at 8 o'clock. We've also got these excessive heat warnings that are in effect. So we are, yes, looking at more heat, but how hot will it be as we get into tomorrow and the work week? We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. Guys, back to you.
All right, Markina, thanks. A car slammed into a strip mall in Inglewood this afternoon. It happened on West Manchester Boulevard, not far from Crenshaw Boulevard. LA County Fire says 3 people were hurt and 1 was taken to the hospital with moderate injuries. There was also a request for building and safety inspectors to come out to assess the structural integrity of the building.
A routine traffic stop turned into a near-deadly shootout. That's what happened when 2 LAPD officers pulled over a driver in the San Fernando Valley last night. The shooting happened in North Hills near the corner of Plummer Street and Noble Avenue. CBS 2's Joy Benedict shows us one of the officers and the suspect were wounded.
They're taking her to the ambulance right now.
There were tense moments as a Los Angeles police officer was rushed to the hospital, escorted by her brethren in blue, lights flashing. Moments before, she was shot on this neighborhood street.
You heard the sirens for a minute first, and then you heard it come down to here. All of a sudden, we just heard gunshots, like 3 of them, pop, pop, pop.
Then, even more.
7 to 10, pop, 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 just return fire.
It all happened around 10 Friday night. A shootout on this usually quiet street between a man in a car and a police officer.
I hear, the police, screaming, that they're like, look out, because the guy has a gun.
Investigators say the suspect was heading northbound on Noble when the officers attempted to pull him over for some sort of a traffic violation. But investigators say instead of cooperating, he opened fire. A police officer was shot in the leg. Her partner then returned fire, shooting the driver of the car.
They pulled him out from the car, and he was bleeding. He was bleeding. He had blood on all over his face.
This neighbor says first responders treated both the suspect and the officer, rushing them both to the hospital. Although the suspect's condition is unknown, we are told the officer is in good spirits and will recover. And while detectives are still trying to figure out why this man had a gun and used it, these neighbors just wish he made a different choice.
Why did he have to shut down the police? He should cooperate.
Joy Benedict, CBS 2 News.
A young girl was reunited with her cat after crews put out a fire at an East Hollywood apartment building. The family's fish were also rescued. The fire damaged one unit on the 4th floor that didn't have a smoke alarm. No injuries were reported.
Excited Rams fans get to watch their favorite players in action at training camp. We'll take you there later in the newscast.
Yeah, plus a new LA library. That's a lot more than books. See how it's also a part of a plan to help seniors who need a place to live.
And a family demands justice after their loved one was gunned down. Why they say he was targeted.
First, though, don't forget to check our podcast, In the Air with Stu Mandel. It's available now at cbsla.com/audio or on apps like Apple Podcasts or Stitcher. He has new episodes every Friday.